Good morning. I have largely avoided a topic that's really been hot in the news as of late, and rightfully so. But I often want to sit back and let things come out. And there's a lot of armchair quarterbacks that want to just rush out and say how things should have been handled, how things should have been done, and all of that. And most of these individuals don't even have all of the information available when they make their assertions of how things should have been handled. And we see it all too often in this country, and this is another one of those instances to where we see it, but we're also seeing something else that is rampant in this country, and that is the misplace of blame. And there's there's a lot of different opinions on this incident, and what I'm referring to is the incident that happened at the Astroworld Festival with now I can't think of his name. I know Drake was there. Scott something. Travis Scott. Yeah. So, there's a lot of blame going on him, and, because he was the organizer of the event and all of that. To a level, I understand that, because he is the guy. He is the one that's in charge of the event and stuff like that. But let's back up a little bit, and I will urge people. I did a live show the other night, and if you haven't seen it, I urge you to go watch that show that I did the other night, the live one, that was titled, If You Are Not Selfish in These Ways, You Will Die in SHTF. I urge you to go watch that. The title does not it's not accurate, okay? I used a play on words, so don't let the title hold you away. There's a lot of important information in there. That information, once again, and as I said last night too, what information I gave in that live show the other night should be used in your everyday life. I mean, it should be used every single day by every one of us. And, this is another one of those instances to where I think that people really need to be self-aware and self-accountable. And I think that they, when I say that, I also mean that they need to look at the true accountability of the whole situation. So let me break this down. From my understanding, there was a concert. Performers got on stage. They started performing. From my understanding, at a short time after the performance has started, an individual or individuals, I have no idea, started going around doing something that is now being called needle spiking. Okay? And so apparently at about, I think the article I have in front of me said 9:30 p.m., people started noticing attendees going down at the concert. That's how it's described, as going down. From that point, the event was called off 40 minutes later. Not bad. There's a lot of people coming out and screaming atrocities at Travis Scott and Drake for not immediately shutting down. That's not typically how things happen. There are medical emergencies at all of these major concerts, every single one of them. We've got River Pit. I don't know what it's called today. Riverport at one time, many moons ago, is what it was called. Verizon Wireless Amphitheater, I doubt it's still named that. I have no idea what the place is called, but they have huge concerts there, right? Ozfest, stuff like that. That's where you go. I have never gone to a concert at River Pit that I have not seen them hauling somebody in a golf cart in some type of a medical emergency. Usually it's that they're too drunk, Usually that's what it boils down to. They not self-aware, not self-accountable, not self-disciplined, and they drink too much and have to get hauled away and medically dealt with. And this is not anything new. This happens. Medical emergencies happen at concerts, at major events. It's nothing new. It's certainly not a reason to stop the show. Unless it's something like this. Now, this is absolute reason to stop the show. But you have to understand the organizer, being Travis Scott, and other individuals involved had no idea the scope of the problem 2 minutes after it started happening. They had no idea. I would imagine to them, it probably just seemed like, a larger medical emergency at first. It's just how things happen. We can all sit back and armchair quarterback things to death. But if you want to be accurate with it, you have to take in all the information. You have to pull out that emotion. You have to pull out any agendas you might have and take a fresh, honest look at it. I don't get this blame game thing. I don't. I don't get how people can just be so set on refusing accountability that even things that they had nothing to do with, they still do everything they can to avoid the accountability. What do I mean? Well, because the person who was at fault is the person running, or people running around with needles poking people. I'm not hearing that very many places, though. Not hearing that very many places. I'm hearing all kinds of people blaming Travis Scott. I hear all kinds of people blaming this, that, the other thing. I don't hear anybody blaming the guy actually walking around with a needle poking people. I think that's a bit ridiculous. The interesting thing is, a lot of them that are real quick to make this judgment are the ones on the right. The same ones that say, well, how come we don't, how come we blame the gun and not the shooter? Dope. So, it's the same situation here. It's not Travis Scott's fault. 40 minutes probably is about accurate by the time people had an understanding of what's going on. Look, you live in a society to where you're going to have a large group of people crying no matter what it is you choose to do. If he would have ended the concert 5 minutes after the first person went down, there would have been people screaming and raising hell like mad because the concert ended early and they want a refund, they want to blah, 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 blah. Nobody can do anything today without having a mob of people there to criticize it. And it's ridiculous. Again, I'm going to point back to it. Self-awareness, self-accountability, self-discipline, and self-determination. Self. People are all about themselves today. Why not try to improve? That's how you do it. Those are the keys. But as we see it right now, people still just want to point fingers. I wanted to bring another part of all of this up to you. I do have an article up here that was put out, I seen it from a local news station here. And, the article says, what is needle spiking? Astroworld tragedy raises concern. And they talk about what went on there, what spiking is, which is essentially kind of like the same thing as spiking somebody's drink, except you're going around poking them with a needle and injecting a foreign substance into their body. So imagine the same ideal behind spiking someone's drink, but doing it with a needle. Apparently, there's reports of them using things like rofinol or roofies, ketamine, of course, fentanyl, and I'm sure other things have been reported or have been used. Sorry, in these instances. It's kind of a new thing, as the article states, in the U.S. here, but it's been going on, I guess, for a little time in England. And, again, as far as the United States concerned, it's kind of a newer thing over here. And, man, I don't know what to tell folks other than refrain from going to things like this. I know, it sucks. You want to be free. You want to live in a society the same society that you lived in 20 years ago. But you know what? There's a lot of people in hell that want ice water too. I would urge people to think twice before going to an event like this. I really would. And that's not speaking anything against large events, or I wish people could. I wish people could. It's a sick testament to our society that people can't get together at an event like this and not be stupid. But I haven't been to a concert yet that hadn't been stupid. Oh, yeah, I did. I take that back. Yeah, I have. One concert in my entire life that people weren't stupid. And it was Amy Grant, and I can't remember the other dude that was there with her. I think he sang with her quite a bit. But, yeah. I did go to an Amy Grant concert where people were really mindful. Blue October concerts aren't bad except for the drunks. You know? I mean, the drunks pretty well ruin the show. I don't get it. I don't get it. But I think we really need to step back and think about things before we just start pointing fingers and casting blame. Because I don't think Travis Scott is the demon here. And along that note, all this other stuff, this conspiracy stuff, people need to grow up. People are so disillusioned that they will do anything to stay in that disillusion so that they don't have to face the true reality that we are. Our true reality right now is a hell of a lot more horrific than somebody that might have some type of demonic or satanic symbolism at their concert. You've been watching demonic and satanic symbolism in your entertainment for decades. I don't see people turning the TV off en masse. We need to take a step back. We need to take another look at this. We need to understand that we don't live in the same society right now that we did 20 years ago. This is disturbing. And I can't say that it's not any... I mean, I didn't expect this. You know, honestly, I didn't expect that people would walk around poking other people with needles, but I did expect that, you know, and still do expect that we're going to see a lot more craziness happen with supermarkets and stuff like that. I just got a feeling because I don't know. I don't got any real good answers because the reason that the fact of the matter is people don't want to work on themselves. And until we do that, we can't fix the country. Can't fix anything. We're stuck. Well, not stuck. We're going to go backwards. And that's what we've been doing. So there's my 2 cents on this whole Astroworld Travis Scott concert thing. I know a lot of people's got their opinions out there. I'm sure mine is far different from the majority of them. God forbid we have self-accountability. Shalom.